510 south. West. .32 north. 992 west. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know how that stuff works. I mean, if you want to make a bot, feel free. And you only do full ads, I like it. I only do full ads for YouTube. Yo, Phoenix Flower, thanks for the following. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this achievement on there. Well, how you doing today? For the past couple weeks, I was doing like one full out time along with one method.
That's good.
And it was like the bad quest is actually over there. Then I was doing like Friend Safari here. And I would give away whatever Friend Safari shinies I get. But I think I'm only going to do that once a week now. Because I do prefer full odds for myself. I found it more exciting, but I do like doing that so I can give away to you guys, and it makes it like a little more relatable for more people, you know. Because if people don't like full odds, they like method hunting, they can watch that, and they can get a taste of both, you know. And it reaches more audiences that way. But yeah, I personally like full odds a lot more. Method shinies I don't really find too exciting. Like you can see in one of my backmar reactions, I literally like. Okay, and then continued on with the stream, you know, just talking whatever I was saying. Yeah, so I like to give away, and then they give some people incentive to be in the stream too, because I only, like, as soon as I find it, I would open the raffle, and and just give it to the winner like right there. So like they would have to be here when I find it to get the shiny. It's more incentive. Soul Silver is the game I'm doing. Shiny Badge Quest. I have Totodile, Beedrill, and Mareep. What route do you recommend for the third badge? I recommend Game Corner actually, Jay Marin. The Game Corner hunt, you can buy 5 at a time. You get so many at a time. It is very nice. Oh my god, who's emote? Who's emote? Sans. Oh my goodness, that is an amazing emote. That is beautiful. Shiny Chespin, if you guys don't know, is one of my top 2 favorite shinies. That and Ursaring. Oh my god, I want it. I want it so bad. Anyways, but yeah, Game Corner, there's like multiple targets you can get in Soul Silver. You have your choice between Abra, Sandshrew, and Dratini, depending on how many coins you want to grind out. But you've got options. I would recommend, based on your current team build, I think Sandshrew would be a great addition. And thanks so much for following. It is very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the stream and off your sheets as well. How you doing? From some Fossilons and Y-Sox sitting Palkia, Pearl at 7k, not too bad. But yeah, good luck for sure. Victo Armo, thanks so much for following. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the stream and off your sheets as well. How you doing? Let me scroll up a bit. What that is to say. Doing good overall. Sorry. Working on saving a mouse. Maybe I'll call him Pika. Hey, that's pretty cool. Dusclops and Platinum Phase 3. Sun Arceus for Jupiter. Phase 3 and...
I think it's fair to say you're probably not going to see the Grand Championship featured in a way that it has been maybe in past iterations. That bump on the ring apron made me very nervous. And I've talked to both of them, and I think that both have legitimate gripes with how their perception of how this has been handled.
Hello and welcome to Wrestle Talk Insider, Wrestle Talk's new series covering the wrestling world outside WWE. And the Wrestle Talk Insider is none other than New Japan's color commentator, my personal favorite commentator working today, and the co-executive vice president of Impact Wrestling, Don Callis, a man uniquely placed in the wrestling world to give us the inside scoop on behind the scenes happening. We're not going to have him on the screen there, are we? I don't want to speak to Don like he's out the corner of my eye. This isn't someone watching a match backstage in WWE. I don't know, I thought we could do like a split screen thing or something. Let's begin, Don, with Impact and Austin Aries winning yet another title belt, the Grand Championship on last week's episode. What's the reason behind putting so many belts on Austin?
I felt and we felt that there was a lot of belts in Impact Wrestling, and I'm a believer in less belts, more value. So the Grand Championship was something that I think the round system was something that some people liked, some people didn't, but I just felt like, and I think the creative team all felt like we needed to kind of consolidate things. And so Austin had been going around winning belts, some of them in the UK, and so what a great way to further that angle with Austin Aries being kind of a global globe-trotting champion, collector of belts, and so that's why we did it. Austin's been a tremendous representative of Impact Wrestling, as you know.
He's going to have to start using a shopping trolley to carry all those belts around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I never liked having a belt when I was an active wrestler because it meant that I had to carry it. You can't check them, you got to carry them on the plane. So I don't know how he does it. Maybe he has a personal assistant, but he is vegan, so he's more physically fit than most. So
Big because he doesn't have to carry as much meat around, I suppose?
Yeah, I always used to carry a lot of processed meats when I traveled, you know. It's very important.
So is the long-term plan to phase out the Grand Championship then?
You know, I think that's certainly what people have speculated. I don't see it being our feature belt. I see our feature belt being the world title, and I see the X division as something that has a lot of value for us. So I think it's fair to say you're probably not going to see the Grand Championship featured in a way that it has been maybe in past iterations of Impact Wrestling. And as we kind of try to put the focus on our world champion and our X Division champion and our tag champion.
Austin Aries isn't just winning belts in Impact, he's also turning up and gunning for them in other promotions, most notably a Ring of Honor's 16th anniversary show where he challenged Kenny King for the TV title. What do the behind-the-scenes conversations look like to make that sort of thing happen?
I think that Impact Wrestling has been breaking the traditional paradigms and the old school wrestling insular mentality that has been prevalent in wrestling offices for probably a generation, where this idea that we own the talent, we don't let them do what we don't want them to do, we don't let them appear on other people's television, etc. We think we've moved way past that with respect to the freedom of creativity, the freedom to keep your intellectual property when you leave. So the idea, we're very open to working with just about anybody.
It's all very well and good to have independent contractors go out and work for other promotions, but there must be something in the back of your mind where, I don't want our world champion to lose on another promotion show.
You know, I think that as much as we break paradigms and start to blaze new ground, there's always going to be that bit that you're still a business. You have to protect your assets. So, you know, no sane business person is going to go in and say, here's my world champion, let's have him wrestle one of your opening match guys and have him lose. No one's going to do that. So there has to be some business intelligence and some strategy wrapped around it. But I think a lot of promotions are coming around to our way of thinking, which is, look, let's take a new age approach to this. Let's not get caught up in, you know, well, my guy can't wrestle your guy because if he sells for your guy, then that means this. I think we're frankly way past that, and we get to a situation where with Lucha Underground certainly versus Impact, it's almost that DC versus Marvel kind of comic book environment where people are very excited, like, okay, who's going to win this little mini World Series here? So, or World Cup in your case. So I think it's exciting stuff.
Another promotion that you have close ties to personally is New Japan, and there hasn't really been much talk of an Impact New Japan working relationship yet, but surely that's got to be the next big one you want to work with.
You know, we're like anybody else. We would love to work with New Japan. We'd love to work with Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, all of these groups. But what we've said as a creative team is, look, we have to get our own house in order. Let's make our own Kenny Omega. Let's make our own Okada.
Who are those new talents that you want to build up as the next Omega?
Our top 6 or 8 is, I'll put them up against anyone, including New Japan. You know, you got Sami Callihan, who's probably the hottest guy in the business right now on an independent level. Everyone's talking about Sami. He's getting a lot of heat, a lot of old school wrestling heat. Alberto El Patron, a tremendous 5-tool player, a total stud in the ring. Johnny Impact, Matt Sydal, Brian Cage, Moose, Eddie Edwards, who unfortunately had the incident with Callahan, but it's actually, I think, lit a fire under Eddie Edwards. We're seeing a different Eddie Edwards than we've ever seen.
You brought up Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards there, and that is an uncomfortable angle to watch. I've read some interviews with Eddie Edwards. I don't know how much of it he's playing up, but he's saying that he's angry with how Sami Callihan has dealt with it. He's not angry about the incident happening. He's more frustrated with how Sami has handled himself since.
I guess I see both sides of it. You know, I see where if I were in Eddie Edwards' shoes and I saw Sami Callihan selling T-shirts that say, you know, I just broke your face or I just broke your eye or whatever he's got out there. He's got a few T-shirts. Sammy's monetizing this incident, and Sami is saying, I'm not sorry. Sammy's very old school, and so is Eddie. And Eddie has said, you know, I am going to handle this in my own way. And with Eddie Edwards, that means an old school mentality. And I think that's what you're going to see. And this is not done getting played out. But I also understand Callahan's perspective. You know, hey, this happened. It's wrestling. It ain't ballet. Let's move on. The name of the game is to make money. I'm going to make money. Now, a lot of people say Sammy should be cutting Eddie in on some of this revenue. From what I understand, he hasn't. And so that's his option. He's not legally bound to do that. But in the wrestling business, the unwritten rule is you would do that. So when you don't do it, then guys like Eddie Edwards take matters into their own hands in whatever form that takes. We're trying to make sure we don't have an incident backstage, but we'll see how it plays out.
So there is real life animosity there between the two.
I've talked to both of them, and I think that both have legitimate gripes with how their perception of how this has been handled. And I think there's a lot of unfinished, unresolved feelings here, and you know, they're playing out in the public eye, whether it's on our television or whether it's on the independent shows worldwide. It never stops with these two guys.
You were there for the Genesis match with Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll, and of course it was a heinous bump on the ring apron. How was that seeing that live?
Uncomfortable. It didn't happen right in front of me, so I only saw it on the video screen. It happened on the other side of the ring, but you know, I worry about Will. I always have, as you know, when I see he's like a superhero. He's incredible. He's one of my favorite guys in the world. But you know, I always worry about him, and then I tell myself, well, he's Will Ospreay. He's not like the rest of us. He's special. He can do this stuff safely. But that bump on the ring apron made me very nervous, and I was very worried for Will. I was happy that he got up and was able to finish the match, but you know, I just pray there's not a long-term effect for him. You know, he is a warrior because he got up and he finished the match, and he is an incredible young man, and I'm just blown away. But I do worry about him because, of course, I never took one bump like that in my whole wrestling career, much less, you know, he does those things every day for the fans.
He's part of a British contingent that's currently invading or taking over New Japan. And just to close on, what do you think about Zack Sabre Jr.'s chances going forward? Where does he go from here after Okada?
I think he took a step to the next level because I think a lot of people, because he has a slight build, he's a very lean guy. I think a lot of people thought, what is he? Is he a junior heavyweight? Is he kind of a gimmick guy because of the whole, he's too small? I think, you know, he went in there and he dominated Okada for much of that match, and he put on a wrestling clinic. And I mean,
because, you know, why would you stop and think, is this game broken? You wouldn't do that for any game. Literally, Emerald is messed up. My friend even sent Nintendo a letter one time saying, like, hey, so what happened with Emerald? Why is it so messed up? And they literally responded and said, that information is classified. That's literally it. I don't know why. I saw that out of the corner of my eye and I thought it was a shiny growler. I'm insane. Tweet it. Alright, check it out after the stream. But yeah, Blue, if you want to test that on an emulator, feel free, man. I'd be interested. still illegitimate though, no matter what. Do you remember finding an Electrike in Emerald and running because I thought it was a glitch? That really sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, that was full odds. My mining was a swarm. I know, dude. That's how you find it in Gen 5. Gyarados is normally the first shiny of the most, or the Onyx Crystal if you're old school. Yeah. I don't count those though. Those might have even been my first shiny. I just really don't know. Then it's easy good again. I'm not kidding. 5 words, no charm. Ask chat who wants it, please. If somebody wants to fly shiny Zigzagoon from a horde, hit him up. 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 Reach these bumps. Reach these bumps. Mine was a Beedrill in the bug catching contest. That's actually very cool. A very unique one.
That's why Mom and I switched and saved with Geico.
You sound like a Geico commercial.
This is a Geico commercial. Geico, you could save too. Don't be afraid. It's just savings.
You caught me. What do I think about the backpacker ability that lets it hold 5 items at once? I'm triggered. Choice band, choice scarf, life orb, and leftovers. I wasn't being debated by matters. I was angry, guys. I was angry. I meant what I said in his chat. He pulled some shenanigans, man. I was angry, dude. I was legitimately happy for him. And then nothing, man. He pulled some shenanigans. Yo, I gave up Polio. Thanks for the Twitch Prime, man. How are you today? Video coming tomorrow. What's up, Polio? Thank you very much for the sub love. It's been a while. Welcome back, man. How are you today, dude? Right, red. Right, it's good, man. Red. Oh boy. I do play Fortnite, yeah. And one, and I'm still over here shining. Patters posted for that he got the shiny Celebi. Oh no, Patters. April Fool's made the thinking he got his shiny Celebi. He got Dana and I both. Well, he got me in this by relation, yeah. Why is Crimson upset? He's Crimson Sea Salt. Oh, was I not muted? No, you're good. You can do that. My stream title says Shiny Celesteela Hunt while Crimson is upset. I like that a lot, actually. Shark Dragon, stop with the nonsense. There's no Pokemon Direct scheduled yet. But A-Drive. I stream pretty much every day, Charlie, around 1 o'clock. But Crimson Sea Salt. But A-Drive. I'm not salty, dude. I'm sitting here trying to see what any of these shinies look like. Because none of the 5 Pokemon that have appeared on the screen yet have been shiny yet. And I have no idea what they can possibly look like one way or another. Yeah, I mean, if only you knew what shiny Feraligatr looked like. Hey, Pie Master, what's good, man? I don't have any remembrance of the Nyx. Like, I've never seen a Jinx in my life. I literally... Okay, I have 4. But then it's so crazy, because then you have things like Roblox Brick Bronze, which makes crazy money. And it's like, I mean, you know? It's a fan-made Pokemon game that makes money, right? Like the guys who made Brick Bronze, they're making money. Oh yeah, dude. Like if you want to get into a hobby to make some side cash, dude, just develop really amazing Roblox games. Bro, crazy. Pokemon Chemical and Pokemon Nuclear. Yep, there it is. Right there. Pokemon Past and Future. Oh yeah, Hydreigon's one of the best. I really hope for Hydreigon as well. Pokemon Sky and Ground. Pokemon 1 and 2. Pokemon Plus Pokemon Good Snake, Pokemon Bad Snake. I thought you said steak. Dude, I love me some good steak. I hate bad steak. Pokemon Pie and Cake says Pie Master. Pokemon spaghetti and Pokemon meatballs? Never heard that one before.
Pokemon pizza and Pokemon pineapple.
Oh boy. Oh my god, Chase, I gotta tell you, dude. The other night, I went out with some friends to this restaurant called Brick and Wood.
First off, you're lying to me right now.
No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
So I went to this restaurant called Brick and Wood, and it was in Fairfield, Connecticut, so pretty far. About an hour away, went and visited some friends. And so the pizza I had, it was sweet and spicy pizza. It was like chicken, jalapenos, there was honey on it. It was phenomenal. But the real part that was insanity was I got dessert, and the dessert was fried dough bites, like you'd get at a carnival or a fair. And they were warm, and you dipped them in cold cannoli filling, dude. It was the greatest dessert I have ever had.
Talking to me like this right now on the street.
Bro, I'm not even kidding you. Danny thought it was amazing. Sean and Paige, the couple that we were with, they were blown away. It was like the greatest dessert I have ever had. It was so good, dude.
Bro.
Yo, that's a shiny Celesteela! Let's go! I got shiny Celesteela! Oh, baby, let's go! The shiny luck continues! I love cannoli filling! Woo!
Oh my god.
Let's go!
Hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Oh my god!
Hi, A-Drive Army. If you guys are excited, make sure you show some love with the like button down below. Tune into twitch.tv/A-Drive for more shiny encounters live on my live stream, which I stream pretty much every single day.
ADriveLive.com, guys.
Live.com. Turn them in the chat, guys. Let's get some nature guests in the chat. Get some nicknames.
Oh, man.
What are you syncing with right now?
I think I actually went adamant.
An adamant one?
Yeah, or modest. It's one of the two. Yeah, because adamant you can run Z fly, dude. You can catch people off guard. Heavy slam.
bit. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Reset 502 North. Reverse graphics. Okay. 251 South. Okay. Okay. So 251 North. So then 2000. 216 South. 2016, yeah. 288 west. Now, yes. Okay. For the lulz, why not? For the lulz. Okay. Alright, basketball time. Basketball. There we go. Alright. Okay. Now that's done. It's 2 south. 288 east. Now, 2565 north. Should I upload this on my channel? Yeah. Oh, wait. Papers.
Oh, really? Is that to me saying I shiny hunt? Is that what that was? I shiny hunt? Really? You don't say. Yo, H4, thanks so much for following. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the achievement on the issues. Well, how you doing today? But yeah, sometimes they're triple one. It's during Safari Week this year. I'm definitely triple one week. It's gonna be good. Gen 5 Mini Raiders at the Battle Tower. Really? Wait, where's the Battle Tower? These city names, fellas. Just tell me a city where the Mini Raiders are. If I remember correct. Okay. 8805 gold. Nothing. I'm gonna stop for 95. Alright, see you around. Have a good one. And you put in some major work on that. Go you. I like that hunt. Fresh 250. that doesn't have patience to count the number of encounters. Counting is what keeps my sanity. If I don't keep count, I'd be like, I'm probably at like 50,000 for Ralts and like 10,000 for Tortuga. Yeah, counting keeps my sanity. Castellio on the leftmost street. Okay. Want to read on the link? Whisper me a link on Twitch, please. Or DM me on Twitter, one of the two. Larvae is horde hunting 2 Aura's games, and legendary hunting another, but I don't know what Pokemon are.
Alright, now 252.
We'll raise him anyways, so no matter what he's on, he's cool dude. But yeah, we still have a little bit ways to go, guys. We still got 30 more, actually, the last Tortuga, so we're checking real quick. So about 25 more Tortuga, and about 44 more for Ralts. People you said to me, my dad was talking, I said sub. I don't know what I said, but yo, sub. I'm back. Welcome back. Hogan brother. Anyone remember the guy on the Desert Black version of the game?
Okay.
Yeah, he's like literally just
Start.
standing there. No, he's standing there. And he's like, hey kid, you want
Yes!
this?
XSS. Okay. What the hell? Never seen that before. Okay. Finally. Okay. Where are you? Yeah. Okay. Let me go to the Pokemon. Oh, sorry about that. Doing so silver here. Okay, I'm trading Meow for Americans. I got some names here.
If I actually make sure to keep Twitch on so I get the link. Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Gen 5 was just a big troll. Pretty much Gen 5 game, but Gen 5 wasn't a troll. Gen 5 was pretty good. What happened? Fingers butt to the 230-bit tier to make an explosion happen, like fill it up first at 30, and then make it explode. Then there's two 100-bit tiers, and then 31-bit tiers. The 30-bit tiers all went in, but the two 100-bit tiers went on opposite sides of the cup.
Alrighty.
So there was no explosion. It was a very sad day. Turn my cup of fossil back. Do it.
Wait, what?
Do it, boy. I actually don't even know what all of this text says.
Okay.
He could literally be saying anything, and I would not know what any of it means. I have not read a single word of it. Oh, got my fossils done. Fossil for? Claw Fossil is for Anorith, I believe. Yep, Anorith, exactly. Blue Eye Shark called it. Peaceful Cup. I feel bad. I really wanted to feel an explosion. Not feel an explosion. I wanted to see the explosion from the big cup rise and go, oh, you know? He could be abusing you and you would be blissfully unaware, right? He could be talking all kinds of smack. I would have no idea. But you're right, it was good. Blissfully unaware. Ignorance is bliss. No explosion, quiet night. Very quiet night. I mean, I wanted the explosion, but it's okay. If we don't have it, that's still okay. I still appreciate it, Gamer, but
Wait,
I wanted to feel an explosion. I knew somebody was going to say something. I just knew it. What's up, Mystic Flag? I eat. Too much chaos in the world. So we clip this out of context. No. I knew somebody was going to say it. Legend says only at that point, talk to the NPCs in those tunnels that connect routes. I actually talk to those people. Sometimes they offer trades or give you good stuff.
and
This is at the worst time. Hey, Jay.
wait, what?
I've only got 3.
Oh wait, is that in my phone?
You want me just to
In my party there? No, it isn't. No. Okay, wait. Again.
The best times. The stream doesn't have many great moments.
There we go.
Like you can pop in like a
Didn't
second before
happen in front of my party there.
the only good time to pop in.
Oh.
That's it. The rest of this is all just I'm sorry. You're a skeptical snivy. How you doing, dude? Welcome. You actually came towards the very end. You're going to check a few more Tortuga, a few more rolls, and then that's that. Yo, Jay Buchanan game. Thanks so much for following. Raiding.
I was gonna
I'm
do
so dumb.
part of
Thanks so much for the
it.
raid, dude. Those behind the desk. What? But yo, thanks so much for the raid, dude. Very much appreciated. Luckier than you. Want to know why? Sure. Tell me why. Check on my cookies in the oven. Be right back. All right. I bet you will get the shiny before the stream ends. I don't think so, dude. I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, thanks so much for shouting out, Jay Buchanan. Jay Buchanan. So, do you
Bang.
shiny hunts or do you play Pokemon? What do you do on stream?
Bang.
And did you have a good stream? I hope you did. See ya, LJ. I have My Hero Academia to watch. Sounds good, Jay. I'll see you around. Vulcan Eevee. Yo, what are those emotes? Oh, those are Jay's emotes. Very nice looking emotes, not gonna lie.